Well, they were right, you guys. 7:30 this morning, and we have snow. Yay! Ooh, the weather outside is frightful. It is really coming down, at least for us. A little sooner than they planned too. Got to get the kids off to school. This is my view right now, you guys. Isn't it awesome? You can still kind of see the snow falling out there. Yay! Okay, so this is actually my second cup of coffee. I figure if there's ever a day that calls for a second cup of coffee to enjoy and sip on, it's today. This one is just the way I would normally make it on Weight Watchers or WW Freestyle. Just a splash of Premier Protein, and I put a few stevia drops in here. But my first cup of coffee, I made my own little version of bulletproof coffee. I put half a tablespoon of Kerrygold butter into my individual serving Ninja cup. That's 2 smart points. And then I brewed my coffee. And then I put a tablespoon of heavy whipping cream for 2 smart points. I still have a lot of that. Not a lot, but I have some left over that I'm trying to use that for my keto experiment. And then I used a couple teaspoons of skinny syrup. I put it into my Ninja blender and made it all creamy and frothy, and then poured it into my cup, and it was delicious. And it's actually past 10 o'clock, and I still have not had anything but that cup of coffee, I think in large part because it was a healthy dose of fat and calories, and it's just kept me satisfied. So I'm really not hungry for my breakfast yet. I decided, though, that I wanted to sit by the fire and maybe read my book a little bit. I am on the 3rd Harry Potter book. I am rereading all of the Harry Potters. I've read the first 2. I loved these books, as so many people did, but it's actually been 10 years, more than 10 years since I read them. For some of them, it's been more than 15 years since I read them. So I just decided I was going to read all the way through this series if I could. So I'm just going to sit in my chair and enjoy the fire. I did do some housework this morning. This is one of those days when I would love to just sit and read, maybe do a little shopping online for Christmas, maybe do some channel work from the computer, watch Christmas movies, but I would feel really bad if I spent the whole day doing that. So I rushed around this morning and did some housework. I worked in the kitchen, finished cleaning that up, and in the bedroom for a little bit. I've got some laundry going. And I worked on getting the Christmas tree up because this is our first year in a new house, and I'm just not sure where I'm going to put it. So anyway, that's what I have had to eat so far. That's what I've done so far this morning. And let me show you what I'm talking about with the Christmas tree, because I could really use some opinions, especially from people who are really good with furniture arrangement. So please help me. Okay, so I have a bit of a query for you guys, and it involves that Christmas tree back there. Yes, it is November the 12th, and I'm putting up my Christmas tree. I don't care what anybody says. It is snowing and Christmas-like outside, and this is one of the only days in the next 2 weeks that I have to get the tree out, and I like to have it out whenever we get home from Thanksgiving, from visiting family, so that we are ready to kick off the season. And I just thought it would be a fun thing to do today, but I'm having difficulty figuring out where to put it in my living room, and I really need a taller tree, but we just bought that tree 2 years ago when we moved into our previous house that only had 8-foot ceilings. And I decided that this year I really want to try to make do with the Christmas decorations that I have, and then maybe pick up some new stuff after Christmas when everything's on sale. So I'm not going to get a new tree until next year probably, especially since we just bought that one. And it's funny because we had a 9-foot tree in the house we were in before our last house because we had vaulted ceilings like this one. But we got rid of it when we moved to our previous house because we only had 8-foot ceilings and bought that tree. But all that's to say, let me turn you around and show you what my predicament is in this really oddly shaped living room. Okay, so this is my living room coming in from the dining room. And normally this sectional is right up against those windows there. And normally that chest is right there where I put the tree. We hate that sectional. I know I shouldn't use the word hate. We really dislike that sectional, and it worked in our previous house. It does not work here, but we're trying to make do with it until we can get another one. So here's what the issue is. I was going to put the tree right there where the chair is. But my husband really lamented the loss of that chair because it is one of the only comfortable places for him to sit in the living room, because this is not comfortable at all. And this is not good for somebody with a bad back because it's hard to get up out of. And he's been having some back issues lately. And I was going to move that chair to there and put the Christmas tree there. But obviously and move that chair elsewhere in the house. And then if I put the chair there though, he cannot see the TV. And it's not like he watches a ton of TV, but still I understand it's, football season and he wants to watch games and, the handful of shows and things that we watch. So in an effort to try to save his seat, I kind of made this couch turn sort of diagonally, and to see if I could maybe put the tree right there. But a couple of questions. First of all, do you think that there's enough passing space, enough walk space to make the flow into the back side of the kitchen okay? I mean, do you think that it's too crowded? And secondly, do you think it just looks too odd to have the sofa, asymmetrical that way against the window? Yes, I have a dead corner back there, but I wanted to still keep access to those cabinets. I don't use them a ton. They hold, decorations and candles and things like that. But I just don't know. I don't have an eye for this, you guys, but just tell me what you think. If there's another space you see in this room where I should try the tree, and ignore all the cords and stuff. I'll hide all those underneath the tree skirt. It's in the wash, but I just don't know. I mean, I want everybody to be comfortable too. But what do you guys think? And I can't push it any more against the wall because it's already touching the wall on the back side. And I went ahead and centered it on the wall because I thought it looked really funny whenever I scooted it over into that corner. It stuck out so much farther than the entertainment unit that I have there. I don't know. Tell me what you guys think. Okay, you guys, it's actually after 12 and I am just now having something to eat. So I guess I'm gonna call this lunch. I made a batch of these breakfast sandwiches today that I really, really like. It's sort of a copycat version of a breakfast sandwich from Starbucks. What I have here is an English muffin that is 3 smart points. And I buy some that are a generic brand called Best Choice. They're 3 smart points a piece, and I actually find them in the refrigerated section next to the eggs and stuff. The only other 3 smart point English muffin that I found in my area is the Thomas's, like 100 calorie or whole wheat or something, and they're kind of expensive. These are only, like $1.20 or something for a 6-pack. So that's what I buy. And then I whip up some eggs. I actually beat the eggs and then I pour them into a casserole dish and bake them in the oven. And then I use a cup to cut out little circle shapes. I'm not worried about wasting a few egg scraps because eggs are cheap. And then I place that on the muffin with 1 smart point worth of cheese. I'm using some Jarlsberg light cheese from Trader Joe's that I still have on hand and need to use up. And 1 piece of bacon. Center cut bacon is 1 smart point per slice. So it comes out to just 5 smart points per sandwich. And I really, really like these. It's one of my favorite breakfasts to eat. And I make them in, a batch of 5 or 6, and then I can put them in the refrigerator, or they freeze really well as well. And when I'm ready to reheat them, I usually wrap them in a wet paper towel and heat them up in the microwave at 30-second increments. I put this one in the toaster oven today, but be careful if you do that because, my toaster oven flames up if any of this drips down. So word to the wise. And then I'm working on a cup of water here. So I just have had 5 smart points for lunch and then 4 with my coffee. So I've had 9 for the day. Hey guys, just munching on 1 Honeycrisp apple while I do a little reading. Have to go brave the cold and pick up the children from school in just a little bit. So this is my little snack. Okay, this is my second attempt at an oatmeal because it just sounded really good to me on a day like today as a snack. So what I have in the bottom there that you can't really see very well is a 1/4 cup of old-fashioned oats that I cooked in about half of this container of Premier Protein. So the oats are 2 smart points and the Premier Protein was 1 because I only used half of it. And then I added 1 smart point, which is 2 tablespoons of these little marshmallow bits, and 1 smart point of this Annie's chocolate cereal. I think it was like 1/3 of an ounce is 1 smart point. So it's 5 smart points altogether, and it's like a cookies and cream oatmeal. And it also has a pretty good dose of protein in it. So it should tide me over till dinner, and it's pretty good. I like it. 5 smart points. Dinner time, and what I have here is half of a spaghetti squash And what I did was take the whole squash and poke some holes in it with a knife and then put it in the microwave for about 4 minutes to soften it. And then I sliced it in half and scooped the seeds out. I put half of it in the fridge to make up tomorrow with some of these leftovers. And then the other half, I put some salt and pepper on the inside, turned it upside down on some parchment, and baked it in the oven for about 25 minutes. When I took it out, I shredded it with a fork, and then I topped it with some sauce and with some mozzarella cheese, some part skim mozzarella cheese. The way that I made the sauce tonight, it is 5 smart points for a serving, and the cheese is 2 smart points, and the squash is 0. So this is 7 smart points. And I'm having it with some broccoli with just a little bit of salt and pepper and some Parmesan cheese. And I had something like this last week and really, really liked it. I mean, I've had spaghetti squash before, but I normally shred it and take it out of the skin and leaving it in the skin. Oh, I forgot to say, once I topped it with the cheese, I put it back in the oven for about 3 minutes or so to melt everything. But it was better, I felt like, eating it this way than taking like the spaghetti squash shreds out of it and putting it on my plate. I didn't have that watery stuff running over my plate. So anyway, that is going to be my 7 smart point dinner. Okay, you guys, end of the night, I'm going to have this little clementine, and then I'm going to call it a day and get this wrapped up and edited and hopefully out there. Thank you for coming along with me today. I was trying something a little new today, or at least partway through I realized that I was doing kind of a hybrid video where it's like a day in the life plus what I eat in a day. And that's kind of how I'm thinking about doing Vlogmas. I'm thinking about doing Vlogmas, but if I do, I want to kind of do it that way. I really like to watch Christmas vlogs on other people's channels just because I like to see, you know, how they're celebrating and preparing for the season, and it gives me ideas for things to cook or gifts or something like that. I just enjoy that. So I've thought about doing it on my channel, but if I do, I still want to continue doing a lot of things that I normally do, like what I eat in a day and my weigh-ins and grocery hauls and stuff like that. And so I thought if I do it, I will, you know, still include those things in my vlogs, and then I would, of course, make it apparent in the title, you know, so it would be like Vlogmas Day 5 / WW weigh-in, or Vlogmas Day 10 WW friendly snack recipe, you know, or Vlogmas Day 18 day in the life or something like that. So let me know, you know, in the comments if that's something that would interest you, if you want me to do Vlogmas. You know, I guess if there's no interest in that, then I don't need to, but I don't know. It just seems kind of a fun way to go through the season, and I don't know, maybe it would be interesting to people to watch the season unfold for a clergy family, since obviously that's a very busy time and adds just another kind of level of activity to the season for us. As always, thanks so much for coming along with me. I think I'm ending the day at like 21 smart points or something. I actually plan to eat a few more than that. I will say that the oatmeal was a mistake, and it didn't make me sick, and you know, it didn't taste bad or something. I just felt like it was overly sweet, maybe because I'm a little more sensitive to sweet right now since I haven't been eating a lot of sugar. And it did not fill me up the way I wanted to, so I probably would have been better off like having some almonds or some string cheese or yogurt or something. I don't have any yogurt in the house, or I would have chosen that. So anyway, that's that. And please give this a thumbs up, consider subscribing to my channel, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.